Hi guys, now in this video we're going to be talking about the Kalki avatar and the Bhagavad Gita Chapter 10. But before we go there, I have just one small question to ask you. Now when you look at this form of Krishna, what do you think is the one thing that is different from what we see among other human beings? But the one distinction that many people give to Krishna is the body color is completely blue as opposed to the skin color that we humans have, and also many other gods. So this is completely distinct, different, and in many ways we can call it a little bit abstract in nature. Speaking about abstract, here is one form which we could talk about. Take this particular form. This form, it is exactly like an elephant trapped in a human being's body. Half man, half elephant. Another completely abstract image that is different to what we normal human beings really are. Similarly, if you also take Lord Shiva's form, you would see a moon on one side of his head and a snake flowing through his neck. See, now all these forms, Krishna, Ganesha, Lord Shiva, and many other forms are completely abstract to that of human forms. Similarly, when we talk about Kalki avatar, the original form that people have given to it is that of a mysterious human being or an individual that is flying on top of a white horse, causing destruction to the entire world and restoring justice. But is that really Kalki avatar's form, or is it something more? The Bhagavad Gita and many other philosophies tend to disagree with that statement, and I'll tell you why. See, when we talk about the Kalki avatar, the initiation of it says that it is a human being that is born in a place where three seas meet in the southern tip of India. Now, this could be Kanyakumari when you look at the map. But in reality, regardless of where it is born or whether it is really going to be born in a human form, the Bhagavad Gita answers this very clearly in chapter 10, verse 1, 2, and 3. Now, before we talk about those three verses, let me go back to the subject of Krishna when you saw that form. See, Krishna as a form is very jovial, is very happy with the flute and completely compassionate and lovable. But the form had a meaning that was different from its physical form. See, the physical form was loving, but the true identity of Krishna was to give out a message to human beings like yourself and mine to have and enable to live a better life over the course of time on this planet. And many books have contributed to that, such as the Bhagavad Gita. Now, in the same way, such as Krishna or such as Ganesha or such as Shiva or any other human being also, not just a divine being, such as you and me, we too have just a physical form, but also a form of identity which we could use in order to make a contribution. But the question is, our contribution is very less when compared to some of other people who have made a much more superior contribution. The reason I say this is because the Kalki avatar as a form of destruction and restoring the world degradation that it has taken itself into over the last 1,000 or 2,000 years. What do I mean by this world degradation and something that Kalki avatar is going to restore back to the world? See, when we talk about all these subjects, this illuminating philosophies, majority of it had originated from India. So I'm going to talk about how India degraded itself. Now, before the 10th century, India as a nation was much more superior than any other nation in the world in terms of finance, in terms of produce, in terms of people and the life quality index, everything. We were really superior when compared to the standards of the world. But post the 10th century, there was a steady degradation of people. When the Mughals invaded India, there was a lot of confusion among people that never really existed. And then when the British invaded India, that created a lot of confusion among us, which we have never really recovered from even till today. So this sort of degradation that India has suffered slowly in terms of culture, in terms of tradition, in terms of habit, and all the other cultures that we have imbibed back into ours without any understanding of it, is the very source of how we have degraded over a period of time. And that is the form of Kalki avatar. To get back the world to where it really was is the initial and the most significant form and identity of this particular entity. And that is why in chapter 10 of verses 1 to 3 it says that though an individual is born, he shall always remain unborn, eternal, beginningless and endless, as it is a form that is created to cater to a particular need. And Krishna says this even to Arjuna, where he says that you think that you are fighting the Kauravas and you are killing them, but they have already been slain by me. You are just an object of entity that is used to kill all the Kauravas. Similarly, even Kalki avatar is just a small object of destruction, but which has already happened. Now, if you take a close look at the final mentionings of the Kalki avatar, it says that Kalki avatar will end the Kali Yuga and restart the Satya Yuga again. Now, if you watch one of my earlier videos, I would have mentioned that anything that goes in a cycle is never ending and it keeps going on and on and on. So the question is, if one is over and another comes and so on and on, aren't we living in a giant never-ending circle and thereby fooling ourselves with such petty desires and expectations that we want for a small time in one single life? And that's the theme of verse 1, 2 and 3 of chapter 10. And that's a wrap for this particular episode, and I would see you guys in the next episode. Until then, it is goodbye, and as always, thank you for watching.